OpenClaw released version 3.7, and just one day later, they followed it up with another major update with version 3.8. Combined together, this is probably the biggest update OpenClaw has released since its launch. Nearly 200 developers contributed to these updates, and if you open the changelog, you will see hundreds of lines of changes and improvements. But instead of going through all of that, in this video, I'll break down the most important updates, explain why they matter, and show you how they can improve your AI agent workflow. And by the way, if you want to learn how to build AI agents like this, automate workflows, and even turn AI automation into a real skill, I've created a school community where builders and creators are sharing systems, prompts, and automation strategies. If that sounds interesting to you, you can join the community using the link in the description below. One of the most interesting things mentioned in the release notes is that OpenClaw might be preparing to launch a mobile app. They even shared a few early screenshots that hint at what the interface could look like. One feature that stood out is voice interaction, which means in the future, you might be able to simply open the app and talk directly to your OpenClaw agent. Instead of connecting your agent through platforms like Telegram, Slack, or Discord, you could interact with it directly from your phone, making the entire experience much simpler and more accessible. Another powerful update is something called topic routing for Telegram. This feature allows you to organize different conversations inside a single Telegram group using topics, and each topic can be connected to a different AI agent, model, or system prompt. For example, you could have one topic dedicated to content creation, another for development, and another for client management. Each topic would run its own specialized AI agent with its own memory and context. This makes it much easier to manage multiple workflows without mixing everything together in one conversation. Now let's talk about a more technical but extremely important improvement: context compaction control. When you interact with an AI agent, every conversation is stored inside the model's context window, which is basically the memory the model uses to understand the conversation. Some models now support extremely large context windows, sometimes up to 1 million tokens, but eventually even that space fills up. When that happens, the system performs something called compaction, which means it summarizes previous conversations to free up space so the discussion can continue. The issue with previous versions was that sometimes important instructions could get lost during this compaction process. For example, if you told your agent something critical like never send emails without my confirmation, that instruction might disappear after the conversation was summarized. With this update, OpenClaw introduced something called Post-Compaction sections. This allows you to define specific instructions that should always survive the compaction process, ensuring the agent never forgets important rules or safety instructions. Another major improvement is the introduction of plugins. It's important to understand the difference between skills and plugins here. Skills are basically written instructions that tell the agent how to perform a certain task step by step. Plugins, on the other hand, are actual pieces of code that can change how the system behaves internally. With plugins, developers can extend OpenClaw's capabilities in much more powerful ways, such as improving how context compaction works or adding new system behaviors. OpenClaw also introduced a very useful backup feature in this update. You can now create a full archive backup of your entire OpenClaw setup using a simple command. This backup includes things like your configuration, your agents, your memory, and your workspace files. If something goes wrong, or if an automation accidentally changes or deletes something important, you can easily restore everything from a previous snapshot. This makes it much safer to run complex automations or give your AI agents access to files and systems. There are also several smaller updates included in this release. OpenClaw now supports additional models, giving users more flexibility in choosing which AI models power their agents. The built-in search capabilities were also improved, allowing users to refine searches based on region, language, and time. On top of that, the team introduced multiple security improvements aimed at protecting API keys, credentials, and system access. One thing that makes this update particularly impressive is the size of the community contributing to the project. Nearly 200 developers were involved in building these improvements, which shows that OpenClaw is quickly growing as an open source project. Many technologies that dominate the tech world today, such as React or Firefox, started exactly the same way, with a passionate open source community continuously improving the product. Overall, these updates make OpenClaw more customizable, more secure, and far more powerful for building AI agent systems. The pace of development in the AI agent space is extremely fast right now, and OpenClaw is clearly positioning itself as one of the most interesting tools to watch. If you're building AI automations or experimenting with agent-based workflows, this is definitely a project worth paying attention to. If you are interested in learning how to build AI agents and automation systems, I've also created a school community where we share tutorials and real workflows. You can join it using the link in the description.